Hey guys, how you doing? How's your day going? I'm just touching how's your night. Hope you had or having an amazing and a beautiful day today. Welcome to Mobile Desk. It's a new podcast where I'm just going to just chat about whatever is happening tech relatedly in my life. Maybe down the line we'll start covering tech news, but mainly it's just me documenting my journey, especially now that I'm currently starting a new part, which we're going to talk about in this episode. So if you're interested in hearing about that, you can subscribe, follow me. If you prefer audio, you can just head over to any of the audio platforms. I'll leave all the ones I use in the description below. And yeah, sit back, relax, and let's just have a good time together. You can find me on YouTube at Chibudom Obasi and on any other social media. Excuse me, Instagram. Instagram is underscore dot underscore PRAIZ, and every other place it's Mobile Dex on TikTok, and on podcast platforms it's also Mobile Desk. So yeah, just sit back, relax, and let's have a good time together. This video is produced and sponsored by Techinovum, your number one tech solutions. Whatever you need, from websites to mobile apps to consultations and tutorials, Techinovum got you covered. I'll leave a link in the description below for you to check that out. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Okay, so sorry. So this podcast, I don't want it to be like all those other long ass podcasts that run for like an hour or like 2 hours. Like this was I love their show though, but like 2 hours plus. Like before I like can settle down and watch it, I need to mentally prep myself for it. So I just want to just be more of a minisode type stuff. Maybe if you're just going to shower or you just want to have a quick meal, you can just sit down and just hang with me. I've not formally introduced myself. My name is Praise Ovasi. I'm a tech enthusiast, and um, I feel like it's an addiction. So how did it all start? I remember when I was younger. So I have an older sister. She seniors me with like so much hair. So when I was still very very young, there's this show that she was always watching, all this CSI show, NYPD. I can't remember all the names of the show, but like the shows I'm talking about, all these detective guys, yes, CSI stuff. Like she watched a lot of those, and I'm a child. I don't have a phone, don't have anything to do. Obviously, if somebody offers me a free chance, like sit down and watch something, I'm going to take it up. So I would sit down with her and I'll be like, okay, this is actually really cool. But one thing that always caught my attention, one thing that always blew my mind, I guess, was the guy sitting down in the black van doing shit on his computer. I was a child then. I didn't know he was doing. All I knew he was like tracking people without stressing himself. And he was like, I was obsessed with that guy. I wanted to be that guy. And even if though I didn't know exactly what that guy was, I just behind like at the back of my mind, I kinda knew like okay, this is what I want to do and I'm going to like take it as serious as I can. So when I was growing up and everyone was like choosing like, oh, when I grow up I want to be a doctor, when I grow up I want to be a lawyer, never wanted to do all those things. Even I hated doctors, I hated going to the hospital. Because like I used to fall sick and my sickness was like all this weird type sickness. I'll be okay throughout the whole day. Then last minute when it's night, like everywhere is locked. That's when my temperature will just start boiling. Like if you leave me to stay on the place I hold, like that place will be fucking hot. So I would have to go to hospital and like taking injection. I hated injection. I also hated drugs. I hated the smell of hospitals because it used to make me drowsy. So I never wanted to be a doctor. People, a lot of people said I should be a lawyer, and once upon a time I was like, not like I was considering because at this point I already knew it was tech I wanted to do. But I was like that, if law didn't involve me having to go to school to go and relearn it, and maybe for some reason tech didn't work out for me, I would be a lawyer because people say like I argue a lot. I'm not like I'm just rambling. Like I'm a kind of person that I like making my points because personally I'm not a fan of chatting up with people and all that. Anyone who knows me knows that. So I'm more of the kind of person that I have the moment when I'm hanging with my friend, but my social battery is so low. It's like so low, so weak that you need to carry power bank if you want to rely on it for the full day, which that power bank is going to fill you up for. But I do have my moments when I'm like out and I'm just hanging out, and there's still also the moments like when it depends on who I'm going with and where I'm going to. But all in all, if let's say I'm just having a chill moment, everyone is just out and it's just for us to talk, or maybe even just a friendly quarrel, a friendly argument. I'm kind of person that I like first of all having my points out there so I wouldn't have to like follow you for all this long conversation. But the idea, I mean, my secondary school made me when I entered senior secondary, they made us do both art and science, and I actually did better in art, and I was going through some of my old results. So, like from primary school up, I'm not like up here, I'm not a dumb person. So, but the thing is, like, I'm not a serious person either. So, I never had to read for computer for some reason because I just understood it. And I'm not saying that I had the best teachers, I had a few teachers that were like good, but I mean, we all know that teachers don't teach you everything. But my computer science was like always falling from that 90s upwards, 90 upward, and I wasn't reading for it. Then my maths once in a while I have like putting the effort up for it, but I'm not person like I just prefer paying attention in class, familiarize myself with the formula. Maybe while class is going on, I'll just be going through textbooks, looking at exercises. My maths too was also it was good enough, I guess, but yeah, that was it, I guess. Then all the other subjects, chemistry, biology, my physics was okay, I guess, but all the other ones, I just didn't like it. But I think one thing from biology that up to tomorrow I'll never forget are the what do we call it, classifications based on kingdom animalia, kingdom plantae. I've forgotten kingdom what is that oh shit. But yeah, no, I never really liked the subject, hated it. But secondary school came and went. I was Blue House captain. I feel like I've always had this leadership sh- appeal. I was Blue House captain. Secondary school came. Secondary school went to uni. Just finished. First female president, computer science. First person to president a whole college. Doing well enough for myself, I guess. And I mean, it was okay. Unfortunately, COVID caught me, and I think it was so I've always gone through this stuff where I've always been confused. I wanted to do tech, yes, we know that, but what exactly did I want to do in tech? Now, when I was starting, a lot of people ask me mobile decks, where did I get the name mobile decks from? If you've been following me before now, you know like my TikTok has always been mobile decks. So a lot of people always ask, like even my COD IGN is mobile decks. So everyone's like, where do mobile decks come from? Where do mobile decks come from? So when I started coding, I didn't have a laptop. So I was coding on paper. I think I posted a video on my TikTok showing me like coding on paper. So I would use paper, then I was still learning. So it's not coding, but I was learning HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript, which up to tomorrow I've not finished learning. I don't know why I don't like JavaScript. But I was coding on paper. Then finally I now found out that always I could code on my phone. So I started using my phone to code. So that's how initially I was supposed to be mobile programmer, but I think I found someone else using mobile programmer or something. So I just inherited mobile tech. So I've had this name for like over a decade now, I think. So when I was in secondary school, we weren't allowed to bring our laptop until like SS3 or so. So I would there was this teacher in one of the computer science teachers, so I befriended him. So he was one who actually helped me with my HTML and CSS. Also, it was another teacher that he taught. What subject did he teach? I can't remember, but it was also one of like this whole technical stuff. So he didn't teach me program per se, but he was trying to when we're doing this Microsoft um certification stuff. He was also helping me put me through like he gave me access. He was using the MacBook, so he would give me his PC to use, and I have to be in the staff room, and I would be able to use his PC and like work on my projects. Then maybe I had my flash, so I also befriended the librarians. So maybe during the day or prep period, e-library was very strict. So during the day, when even if you're using e-library, most of the times the data will be off. But anytime I could be having a class and I'll just skip the class and just go to the library and they'll give me access. Maybe they'll tell me to lock myself in or should lock it from outside, turn on the Wi-Fi and I'll just be there working my project. Once I'm done, I'll put inside the flash. I'll now first take it to the computer lab to go and show the staff, then he'll check it when I make corrections. Then maybe sometimes I'll not take it and show the other teacher, and likewise will make correction, give me advice. Well, this second teacher, the reason why I liked him, he was not just giving me advice on my program, he was actually like trying to help me guide. But at this point, I did not know that like there was like so I knew I could be a hacker and I knew I could be a developer. That was all I knew at this point. I didn't know there was like so many other categories, and I feel like that was one thing that was kind of like bad, I guess. So at first I was like, when I started, I fell in love because I wanted to be those guys that like track people, and I think if I put it all in all, generally, those people will fall more under. You know, I've actually never thought of it. Those people fall under hackers. They are intercepting your phone, bugging it, and all. Those ones are not. They are not developing anything. But when I last started, when like I remember my old laptop, there was this stuff. So I wanted to go into ethical hacking. So there were some websites that like some apps that had me like download, sub this, sub that. And I was just like, okay, you know what? I don't think this is what I want to do. So at this point I've learned HTML. Like I wasted so much of my life. Oh my god. I actually wasted so much of my life because of this. 'Cause, like, if there's one thing I could change, I swear that is like one thing. I wish when I started into this stuff, like, I wish I had like proper guidance. So when like, I was taking this thing so seriously, wasting my time learning it. Like, I feel waste is a very, very strong word. I don't like having regrets. I don't believe in regrets. It was an experience, and all those experiences together molded me to be the person I am today. And unless I'm saying I hate the person I am today, we shouldn't hate the experience. But I just wish I didn't spend so much time learning HTML and CSS because I feel like I would have gone so much more further than where I am right now. But it is what it is. I learned HTML, kept learning CSS. Then the next thing I was supposed to learn was JavaScript because that was the only other language I knew. I did not know any other programming language existed. But I never liked JavaScript. Like my brain just never like I was saying it. I knew it was easy. I knew I could understand it, but I just didn't like it. So I never went on with this. So at this point I'm like, okay, new career paths, new career paths. I was like, you know, no. But I think was this either SS3 or SS2 in our curriculum we're supposed to do Q basic. So this when I now start doing Q basic and I fall in love with Q basic. This when like at this point I don't know that this like I guess software development or something because it's terminal based project, but I did not know that it was developing softwares. But I knew, okay, you know what, maybe this is what I want to do. So I would like be working on building a calculator with QBasic, all these petty stuff. But I was happy doing it. So I like, okay, you know what? Right part. So whatever it is I was doing with HTML, I don't want to do that. I want to do QBasic. But after a while, I easily get like I like being stimulated. I don't know what right word is doing, but like if my brain dulls out of me, like I feel like this was something I actually need to look into maybe medically. But if I'm doing something, if whether it's reading or anything, if something is not playing in the background and music doesn't even work anymore, so I like having videos or a movie, even if the movie is in a different language and I'm not reading the subtitles, let just something else be there so that when I turn I'll see moving graphics and stuff. I don't know why. But my body just always understimulated, so I just need to boost it up a bit. So I got bored of QBasic. So this when I'm not like I appreciate all the people who helped me out when I was in my secondary school, but no one was really helping me. Like I didn't really have the help that I needed. But on my own, and that's like okay, I was just saying like okay, how can I turn my QBasic codes to graphics? That's now brought up Visual Studio, not Visual Studio, like Visual Studio. You know the um we did Visual Studio in university actually. I think it was the 200 level. But so I'm looking at Visual Studio and I'm like so confused. I don't know what to search. I was lost. So I just give up on Visual Studio. So I took a pause. At this point now, I've finished secondary school. I've gone home. We're waiting for everything to finish. That next session starts. I'll go to uni. Whilst I'm at home, that's when I now find Python. So, but okay, no, no, that's when I find Harvard. So I'm looking into Harvard, and I see Harvard has this course CS50. So I do take the CS50 course. I think in CS50, I think I've talked about this before. So in CS50, I think we used C. So if we use C in CS50, then on my own I went to learn C++ because I said it was the same thing, like they were complementing each other. But if it was C++, then on my own I went to learn C. And after that, and I looked into C sharp because I thought, okay, C, C++, C sharp. I thought we were all one, but like C sharp wasn't. So I just dusted my hand off that immediately. And then I found Python, and I fall in love. That's why I'm like, if you check my bio, I'm like, I identify as a Python developer. So I find Python. I learn like the basics. Um, so at first I was like, Python is easy because I didn't have to like start learning. How do you start? I forgot how do you start a CSS code? Is it import system or has I forgotten namespace as? Oh my god, I think I need to revisit C plus plus, not C, but like C plus plus, count sync. I need to revisit it because I actually enjoyed that period because it was nice to actually see myself doing more technical things. So like people were around, like I was really happy. This period, so I would work on projects and I would like do the silliest of projects and I would go and be showing everyone like, oh my god, see what I did. Oh my god, see what I did. I'll be so happy. So I enjoyed it. Well, I find Pythons. I'm learning variables, whatever, learning everything, file handling. Once I'm not done learning all these things, I'm not like the next most important question that everyone should be asking. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this till I've learned now? So I'm like, okay. Just on my again, I'm on my own trying to like figure this out. And I feel like this is one thing we need to remedy. Like we need to have more communities like that is just dedicated to people who are just starting in tech, I guess. So I was just like, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? I can't remember the person's tutorial. I think was in Mosh. No, it wasn't. No, it was a strange face because I never saw that guy again. So he was talking about frameworks. That was when I started doing Flax. So I'm following this guy's tutorial, following this tutorial religiously. So we're doing like the whole setup, everything. So I think I jumped in aside from the wrong video. But when I now finally traced myself back to the first video where he was now importing Flask, quite right, they're outside the country, they don't have to remind themselves to have their data turned on because they're almost always connected to the Wi-Fi. No one told me that though. So I'm on my PC trying to install Flask and I'm just seeing red all over the terminal. I'm like, bruh. Okay, I spent 2 fucking weeks of my life crying. Like, I even had this friend, like, he too, he was. So, okay, at this point now, I've gotten into school, my 100 level, COVID hits. So I'm back home again. So I was in school, I like got started. So he was in, I think, 300 level final year computer science. So he was a Java developer. So I guess he didn't like his. I don't think anyone's mind back. Like when you're seeing your code is having an error, I doubt the first thing anyone will advise you without seeing what error is. I doubt the first thing anyone will advise you to do will be to turn on your data. So I spent 2 weeks plus crying over this, feeling stupid, feeling useless, feeling like shit. And all of a sudden, I wanted to download it. Good. So at this point, I'm not really good at reading errors from terminal, so I cannot just look at terminal and like try and guess what the error I'm getting is. But as luck will have it, I wanted to download a movie. There was when I started watching this. Is it Legacy? They call it no Legacy. The one with what's this girl's name? What's this girl's name? the ones that they are mutants. What's it called? Please, if you know the name, can you remind me? That she has green hair, she can control um that her child she had a child with the guy that I don't remember, I think he's on his file or something. Aurora. What's his name? Oh my god, this is going to bother. I might still have the movie somewhere on my phone, so on my laptop. I'll have to check. But I was downloading it, so my Wi-Fi was turned on. My system was connected to Wi-Fi. Lo and behold, something says, "Open your Visual Studio Code, run it again," and I run it again, and it installs. Happiest day of my life. I took myself out that day because, bruh, it's not easy. It's not easy to peep install it. Like now that as I'm hearing it, even though that I experienced the joy, like I know the feeling that I felt when that happened. If I didn't experience that, someone was just telling me, I'm like, okay, I'm happy for you, I guess. But it's like it's little things. It's I was happy. So I finally completed my Flash tutorial, create my first blog in Flash, make the bugs that users can authenticate themselves and create an account and like and leave comments. And I was like, yes, I'm proud of you. Real world application. That is like your main achievement we had in 19 tech. Real world application. I was happy. Then I'm now so now I have more of an idea of what I should be researching and everything. I find Django. And I now focus on Django. Never visited Flax after the blog ran. Never touched Flax again in my whole life. And I started focusing on Django. Started working on more and more projects. Working on more and more projects. And yeah, in the midst of doing that, I found out about MIT's open courseware. Realized that I was dumb because what the fuck are those people learning? I I've said I'm going to focus on it once I'm just done with everything I'm doing now. But like those people intentionally make the. Cause I'm quite right. So most of the resources they release are like from their older classes, I think. But like they just make it harder than it needs to be. Because at first I was just using it and just using their resources, and I was like confused. So I decided to just go to YouTube, watch videos that are not from MIT, and I was like, okay, wait, is this what you were trying to say? Do you need me to translate? Because I don't like. Well, I'll just settle down and just focus on that. But that's after when I now found WordPress. And now there was nothing for me to learn WordPress, but it was just WordPress I was just using to hold myself since I was not really getting anything from Django. So I'll just use WordPress. I can have the WordPress site open 2 days in a day, even depending on what the person wants. Then also I learned like a tiny bit of PHP so that maybe if there's a plugin I wanted to use that didn't exist, I could create the plugin for myself. But yeah, COVID ends, we go back. So at this point, I have like 3 solo learn certificates. I have my Harvard CS50 certificate, and we go back to school. I'm focusing. So when I reached school, like this thing that just fucked up my whole CGPA. We used 1 month to do 2 semesters, lectures plus exam. So it was, but I mean, my CGPA was okay. It was okay, actually. But yeah, I entered into like the 4 points, but was still second class upper, which sucks. Like, why? Just make from 4.0, just make it first class. But I go back to school. I'm now like trying my best to just catch up. I'm trying to focus on what I teach in school while still trying to like improve myself. So I'm learning this Django and shout. I'm like, okay, I don't think I want to be a web developer. So I was like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? Let's go into app development. So I'm about to start. So everyone's telling me these are the languages you need to learn if you want to enter an app. Then all of a sudden, like there was a period when Flutter just started going viral. So I was like, you know what? One code, develop Android and iOS. Slay, yeah, that's what I want. Set up, had everything set up on my system. Start working on a few of the projects. That's when I realized that I couldn't test. So you know, when you're starting with Flutter, they'll give like this base app stuff that you can run and test. So I tested it on Android. Then I had my BlueStacks emulator. I had my Android phone, so like that was not an issue. But okay, let's test on an iPhone. I don't have an iPhone. Let me try and get an iOS emulator. Couldn't find none. I was like, so this is sign. This is not for me. So I just gave up on Flutter. And eventually I said that okay, let's just let's I'll just floating honestly. For years in school we did Java, we did C++, coding on boards, but we did Visual Basic. Visual Basic came back to find me. We never did Python for some reason, which I think we need to fix that curriculum. But after we finished, it was just at this point, it was just like the basic stuff. Like even though I don't know the syntax of most of those languages, it was just like the main base stuff. And I'm like, talk, I'm not saying anything. But yeah, finally I discovered that AI is like going for. I was like, you know what? This is actually what I want to do. I want to go into artificial intelligence. This and last time, I don't know how I keep cross paths with Arduino, but I was like, this seems more of engineering. I don't think I want to go into engineering now. So I was not like looking how can I become an AI specialist or an AI developer. That's when the long roadmap of data science, machine learning now fell into place. This video is brought to you by Techinovum Showcase. Do you have a business that you want to be seen by the world? Do you not want to waste money paying for hosting, paying for a domain, and paying for someone to develop it for you? Or you need no worry anymore because Techinovum Showcase gives you the platform to showcase your products free of charge, no hidden fees. Everything is brought to you and served on a golden platter. All you have to do is go now, click the link in the description, create your account or sign up if you need to, and list your products and host your business all without having to spend a dime from your pocket. Eventually though, if you want to unlock more features, there's always the option for you to upgrade. So if that is what you would like, check out Techinovum Showcase today, link in the description. So eventually though, I start focusing more on like just researching, trying to find my path. Because then I discover, okay, like let me go into data science. So I'm looking at what data science is, and I'm like, okay, it's mainly maths, and that is okay. Like maths and computer science are literally the only thing that God bless me when it comes to base knowledge. So like it's not going to be that hard. But next thing I was finding resources. I don't know, like I was trying to look for like with my phone and now start stealing for whatever. So I would guys want to purchase a course and I'll just screenshot the course outline and I'll just use that as one outline. But because like I was focusing on school and every other thing, and I was at this point I started working on a few projects from like the small websites I was in for people. I was able to buy two phones, I was able to buy a laptop, and I was able to have my own money to hold. So it may like because it was not like the best of laptops, but like being able to do that was like something that just kept motivating me. So the laptop I was using prior to that was trash. So when I just had this, coding became fun again. So I was now like focusing on it, like in trying to improve myself in Python. At this point, still now, no one had told me like aside from the technical skills, there's still other things I needed to learn. But I'm still even just fully unlocking that part. So that's what I want to focus on now. But I was mainly my priority at the time was like school. I needed to cover up for the shitty CGPA. For the shitty GPA I got for my 100 level. So I was still doing it on the side, but it was not like full fledged and whatever. But now that I finished, that's when I started doing this side data science. I made the mistake of using Harvard and MIT, so I just quit on that immediately. But like, you know what, let me start with data analysis and I'll just progress. So that's where I am right now. I'm learning data analysis. And now that I'm not starting with data analysis, now feels a little too easy because everything, like almost everything I've been doing is Excel, but we just recently entered the Python of data analysis, and it just basically is variable data types, data structures, what else, operators, what other stuff that in Python that I had to cover, um, what is it called? Control statements, conditionals, and loops. Those are all. That is like Python 101. But I'm not complaining. I'm finally settling down to because anytime I see these bitwise operators, I used to ignore it. But it's actually easy. It's just binary. It's not that hard. It's not that deep. It's really not that serious. Um, yeah, that is where I am right now, focusing on my data analysis and waiting for NYC to come. I don't know why I woke up like yesterday and saw that if you schooled in the south, east, or west, they're going to throw you to one of those northern states. Like, so whatever they're doing, they should do share. Mom, just let my name just come out in this list stuff and let me just get posted because I don't like being idle. Well, yeah. Now, what are the things I've learned? What if I was to learn coding all over again? All I do, first thing I would do is obviously find out what I actually want to do. Cause like I always tell anyone that asks me now, I was like, computer is broad. What exactly do you want to do? Once I've discovered I want to do this, always each thing, each field you choose is always a niche field. There's always more ways to specialize it. So specialize it as much as you can and just click what it is that hits it for you and just focus on that. And yeah, choose what it is that suits your passion. Once you're done with that, the next thing is like finding someone that actually understands what they're doing, whether it's an in-person tutor or a tutorial online. Find someone that's the person mustn't be like your physical guide, but just person can be used to hold you accountable. You can just on your own just mentally take note of this and just be holding yourself accountable all this time. But find something that you like, something that will keep you motivated. Then learn the basics. The basics of every single program language is almost the same, no matter what language it is you're learning. The syntax and all so on and so forth. Learn the basics. Once the basics is learned, practical, practical. Then also collaborations, working with more people, seeing different people's insight, different people's takes on different stuff, participating in like all this advent of codes, hackathons, and then aside from like the practical, the technical skill, there are more things. A lot of people say that you can only get this if you go or study, or like have a computer science certificate or something. But yeah, just try and find people that teach on or touch on those, learn some of those concepts. They will really go a long way. And I think the next one is do you know this turning? There's this turning exam I was doing was the worst, failed woefully. So I don't know what type of what I would classify it under, but like those type of interviews, those dances that they dance, you can like. What am I saying? Oh my god, what am I saying? I feel like I was just blabbing there. I can't remember what I was saying just now. I was trying to say, calm down. Oh shit, I blacked out. I actually blacked out. Oh my god. Main point, participate in hackathon, work on projects. Don't just jump head first. Like everything, there's a step and procedure. There's always what they call it, like requisites and stuff like that. There's always a step. There's always an approach to everything. So just do things right and do it at your own pace. Don't be like because this person took a day, I want to take a day to do it. Move at your own speed. Ensure it's the field you're passionate about. There's so many other fields for you to explore. And yeah. Tech is fun. I don't regret it one bit. At least I try not to. And it just is a daily process of always trying to get better, especially now that like everyone is jumping to be a developer and people are trying to make developers like feel replaceable, which I mean to an extent they are. That's why you need to try and stand out and make sure you are not replaceable. But I'm just going to keep going, keep striving. I'll be updating you guys as I go along the way, I guess, giving you guys the updates on where I am currently in my data analysis journey, And once I'm done, we'll move on to the next until whenever. But yeah, have a beautiful rest of your day. Thanks for joining me on this weird podcast, I guess. And I'll see you guys here again next week. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye, guys.